Remember tomorrow today. This is not a manifestation technique where you just hold the feeling in your heart and it will manifest tomorrow. Not at all. This is very different. This is a little bit of breath work. This is imagining the highest version of yourself. And you got to get into a state of mind where you can hold an image in your mind for a few minutes. But let's get right into it, as the YouTubers say. What I want you to do is get a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, whichever you prefer, and I want you to write out your whole morning routine. Do you do things in a certain order? Make your bed, brush your teeth, wash your face, drink water, vitamins, dressed, exercise, what have you. Whatever your morning routine is, I want you to write that out. Then I want you to write your tasks out for the day. It could be get dressed, go to work, do this task I'm working on, get home, do some tasks around the house. Maybe you need to wash dishes, mow the grass that evening, do laundry, work on a project that you enjoy, something that you're creating. And then you're like, yes, I get to go do this. And you go do that. And then your bedtime routine. Write that out. And this could be a good thing to add into your bedtime routine, writing out what you're going to do the next morning or the whole next day. And if you don't have a morning routine, this would be a solid place to start, just with the morning routine, because that changes your whole day. You're more of a person that has arrived to your day, not just like showing up, like just dropping stuff all behind you, just ramshackled. So you write out your day in great detail. Once you do this, I want you to close your eyes and take a very deep breath and tighten your core, and then tighten your core. And your lungs are like these billows. They're full of oxygen now. And then when you're squeezing that core, you're hyper oxygenating your system. The oxygen has to go somewhere, so it's going to go into your bloodstream. Then bring your awareness to the base of your brain, the tip of your spine. And when you do that, you're bringing your awareness there. Energy follows awareness. So now you're getting more oxygen to your brain and you're getting it ready to visualize. So now you've taken over your system. You've kind of focused on a different breathing technique. So your mind is now focused in the moment. Here's where we get into the magic. Once your brain is calm, I want you to look back at your sheet of paper that you wrote your task out on. And as you read through it, I want you to imagine what that word looks like in your mind and that task. I want you to imagine getting up. I want you to see it in your mind. I want you to see you making your bed, brushing your teeth, getting dressed, drinking water, and actually see all this stuff going on. See yourself going to your vehicle, going to work, eating lunch, getting home, doing everything that you want to do, and then going through your nighttime routine. See it all in your mind. You're now making a memory of yourself doing all that. So now your subconscious almost visualizes that this day has already been done. Now I have a memory of you going through the behavior and the actions of this day. We're going to take it a step further now. Now you have that memory. You know how you read a book. Let's say a scene from Lord of the Rings in a book, and like it's populating in your mind. And then later, when you're not reading the book, you kind of play through that scene in your mind. You have the same thing going on here. This is a scene from your life that you just wrote out, you just visualized. Next level. Close your eyes, take another deep breath, tighten your core, focus your attention at the base of your brain, the tip of your spine. Now I want you to imagine yourself in 30 years. Imagine where you'll be living and imagine what you'll feel like. Just the best version of you possible. And sit with that for a minute. and really, really feel that, what it feels like. Next, I want you to visualize 2 doors, and you open these doors up and you walk into your library/office. And it's this big mahogany desk. You have these massive book collections, statues from these places you've traveled around the world, little ornaments and things that you've collected because you've become the highest version of yourself. You've actually traveled the world. You've done everything that you've ever wanted to do. You've taken care of everybody in your life in ways that nobody else in your family lineage has. The amazing version of yourself. Now you sit down at your desk and you're the version of yourself in 30 years, and you have a book open in front of you, and you take out your pen and you're going to write your memoirs now. You're going to write about that day that happened, that went so well. Now, this is the time to pull up that memory that you just created from reading the script you made for tomorrow, which some people call a task list. As you pull this up, you don't need to see every bit of it. Kind of put the whole memory into this gray bubble in front of you. And then I want you to start writing down. This day went very, very well. I accomplished many things, and this day ended up being a huge shift in my life. And I was so proud of how well I did this day. And as you're writing, I want that bubble to have a line going into your pen, creating the ink as you're writing this out. So it's you remembering this 30 years in the past and writing it down. Now your subconscious sees that you actually did this day. You went through and you did all these tasks, and you finished that day, and you're proud of how you did. And now you're writing about it. You're bringing it back full circle. Now, your subconscious has a memory that's encoded with it being done 30 years ago. And you're going to do it tomorrow. So when you get up and you start going through the motions of your morning routine, taking your vitamins, drinking water, getting dressed, making your bed, going to work, you almost feel pulled through the day. You're like, what? Why is this so easy? Like, I'm just going to this. Usually I'd have all this resistance. You have circumvented the resistance. You're no longer having to force yourself to do it for the first time. You're doing it now, but your subconscious sees you did it 30 years ago. And it's way easier. It's like, oh, this is just literally a fulfillment of your own prophecy, for lack of better words. It's like magic. It takes some visualization, but when you start doing this, it changes the projects you're working on. And you can take this to an even bigger level by visualizing what you want your life to look like. If you're working on a big project, don't look at the big details, just look at the outcome. Then remember that outcome in the future as a future version of yourself. And then plug in those details to your reticular activating system. It's that system where you get a certain vehicle, then all of a sudden you see that vehicle everywhere. Or when you see a Lego block in your mind, and now it's like, I only want to find this Lego block. Your brain, it's important to your brain, so it starts looking for it, starting to find it. Now it's looking for the solutions to these next pieces of the puzzle of your life. And it's like pulling them in. It's like, oh, they were found, but now I'm just plugging them in real time. Try it. You have absolutely nothing to lose, and it's an easy way to step past resistance.